In anime, there's a lot of cool antagonists and villains, Madara, Aizen, Mario. There's plenty of them. But there's one character that I feel gets overlooked a lot in terms of anime antagonists. And that character is Nagito Komaeda from Danganronpa 2 Goodbye Despair. And yes, I know Danganronpa isn't technically an anime, but it is an anime game with an anime adaptation, so it's close enough to an anime that it counts. So what makes Nagito such a great antagonist? Well, let's go back when we were first introduced to Nagito inside the game. You wake up and see this Rick Sanchez from Rick and Morty looking guy. This guy looks like Makoto if he was like did some weed and shrooms with Hero for 8 months straight, and that person is Nagito. He has like the appearance of like a homeless bum and has like sinister vibe and aura to him. Nagito looks very much unwashed. In fact, I must say I thought it was Makoto the first time I saw him, but like he was like didn't take like a shower for a while. But despite Nagito's initial appearance, he seems really helpful and he seems quite nice to Hajime as well. He helps Hajime greet the other students as well. But before like the first trial, Nagito really doesn't do anything interesting or anything that cool. He just does he does do like the thing with the sticks where he like selects like the role of him like cleaning the storage room for the party, but that's not relevant until like during the first trial. So like let's jump to the first trial. During the first class trial, Hajime came to the conclusion that Nagito could have killed Fat Byakuya based on where everyone was standing when the lights went off. Yeah, he was close to the table where Fat Fat Togami was killed under. When like pressed about this, like Nagito literally goes insane and starts laughing like a maniac and going crazy. This is like one of the most iconic moments in Danganronpa. The laugh is just perfect. He makes it like so obvious that he's the culprit that it distracts from the actual real culprit, which is actually like kind of obvious in this class trial who the real culprit was. It was like kind of obvious. It was like Teru, but like Nagito just Nagito just kind of like hides that fact. So that was cool. Later in the last trial, the students come to the conclusion that Terry was the killer. Nagito then proceeds to encourage Terry to like prove his innocence and like to derail the class trial. Nagito didn't like care about the outcome of the trial whatsoever because he only cared about achieving hope, not like his own like personal gain. If the students gain hope by finding the the culprit, Nagito would be happy. And if Territory got away by sacrificing all the others, Nagito would still be happy because Territory would get hope from sacrificing everyone else and living on. So like Nagito's hope relies on people who have talent. Nagito believes that those who have talent will bring hope towards the world, but those who like lack talent will live like mediocre lives. This is why like Nagito has no concern of dying himself because since his like talent is purely luck, he has no control over it and is essentially just a regular person. His view of talent is very similar to Hajime's as they both believe only those who have talent can achieve great things. Nagito, after the trial, is subsequently tied up and thrown into the extra storage room by Nekomaru and Azuichi. Due to him not being able to eat on his own since he's like tied up and stuff, My Hero is tasked with like delivering him food. Nagito then convinces Mahiru to go check out the game Twilight Syndrome murder case, which is the motive for the next killing. He also, before, instigated the murder of Fat Byakuya by Teru. Like Nagito loves to like instigate conflict and cause havoc amongst the student. He does this so he can like witness those who embody hope overcome any despair. Another important moment for Nagito is when he got the despair disease. Here we can see like the other students caring and assisting for Nagito when he was sick. In fact, the students were terrified by the prospect of him dying. This care for Nagito is quite surprising, seeing that Nagito has been toying with the group for so long and causing them major issues. The reason why like Nagito is still somewhat accepted by the group is that he admires the students of Hope speak for their talents and them being the future of Hope. So like they can't like hate him completely since like he like admires them. Let's jump over to the fourth trial because that's where things really heat up for Nagito. The group gets access to the fourth island. Nagito still works with the group despite him messing with the group all the time. So the group goes on like the roller coaster and they get like the secret files as the prize where they learn about the first killing game. They then go on the train ride, but then get put to sleep and get transported to the fun house. During the time in the funhouse, Nekomaru of course gets murdered, so Nagito decides to go to the final dead room. At that point, the point of view of the player switches to Nagito. I really liked playing as Nagito because we got to see how he thought and the insides of his mind. Here he went and cleared the escape room part, but then did one of the craziest things in the entire franchise. So for him to progress to the Octagon and get the secret Monokuma he had to play a game of Russian roulette. Usually in Russian roulette, you load up only one bullet, but Nagito, being the absolute mad lad he did, loaded up five, giving him only a 1 in 6 chance of survival. And with Nagito being the ultimate lucky student, of course he survived. From that moment on, Nagito became like my favorite character in all of Danganronpa. Nagito Nagito puts complete faith into his talent, just like he puts his faith in the talent of the students around him as well. Once Nagito reached the armory section, he's given the secrets of the students and Hajime's true talent, which is no talent. From that moment forward, began to despise the other students, especially Hajime, before he found out all the other students, including himself, were remnants of despair, and Hajime didn't even have a talent and was just a mere reserve course student. Nagito's new disdain was evident in the class trial, where he refused to give out information and looked down upon the other students. These tricks are very different than like Nagito's usual tricks, in that he was not trying to have the student overcome like any hope or obstacle. In fact, it was like he sees them as like the enemies of hope and like has complete disgust in them. After the trial, Nagito meets up with Monokuma in order to explain him his plan to spice up the killing game. Monokuma was of course ecstatic by Nagito's plan, seeing that the killing game would be more interesting. After investigating the fifth island, the group decides that they have to round up Nagito because he's too dangerous to have walking around the island. So they devise a plan to capture him. Once he's captured, the craziest thing ever happens. Nagito blows up the cafe which he was being held in with one of his bombs. Then he claims that he will destroy all of the rest of Jabberwock Island with the bombs he has. He proclaims if the traitor does not reveal himself to him, then he will destroy the island. The group then sets out the next day looking for the bombs in order to defeat them. If they then find the bombs in the Monokuma making factory eventually, but those bombs turns out to be fake. And then a video plays inside the factory where Nagito says he's currently inside the storage room area of the factory. They all run to the room, but suddenly the room catches on fire. So they all grab fire grenades and throw them to put the fire out. Then they find Nagito dead. with signs that he has been severely tortured. Class then went on their usual class trial thing, but they find like a horrifying discovery and find out that like Nagito was trying to get the student to kill him by having them throw the fire grenades to put out the fire. But one of the grenades was filled up with poison gas that would force Nagito to drop a spear on his chest, impaling him and killing him. So I know that sounds like a lot and very complicated because like it is, but Nagito's the plan, but Nagito devised his plan to kill all the students and have the traitor survive. He relied on his luck for the traitor to pick the fire grenade and throw it at him, thus killing him. N- Nagito's true intention was to create a murder that was impossible to solve and would rely on pure luck. He did this because he found out all the other students, excluding the traitor, were remnants of despair who plunged the world, well, into despair. So obviously, Nagito wouldn't like this, so he devised a plan to make an unsolvable mystery so the other remnant of despair would be executed because they will like vote for like the wrong person and the real killer, which was the traitor, would live and they would die. He tortured and maimed his body in order to make the mystery more difficult to solve. Unfortunately, the group found out the killer, who was Chiaki, sadly. What Nagito did to save the traitor was in his mind for the greater good. The remnants of despair killed many people and wreaked havoc. So Nagito thought it would be for the betterment of the world if everyone on the island died. Him being a remnant of despair in the past was probably why he was willing to torture himself so much, since Nagito was all about hope. In conclusion, Nagito is absolutely insane, yet he's my favorite character inside the entire series. He really is the goat of Danganronpa.